Hey there, welcome to day 61 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1189 after a loss yesterday. And let's go ahead and just jump into a 15-minute rapid game. And see what we get. Okay, we got an 1137. We got black, so let's go for Karo Khan against e4. Oh wait, didn't we have this a couple days ago? I don't know what this is exactly, but I think this was the same moves that we had a couple days ago. And I was a little confused by it, but I'm just going to try to stick to. Oh, maybe we transpose into somewhat of an advanced here variation, perhaps. Okay, yeah, so I think we basically transposed. Here we gotta just trade it. Alright, and so last time I was in this position, I want to play c5. I was worried about this check, double attacking both of these pawns. But I think what I learned is that I'm fine because I can go here. He can't take with the queen right away. The queen's under threat. So we can either just trade queens right away. He can't win one of the pawns, basically. So let's go ahead and go for that. Before I played the queen to b6 here to try to prevent the check, but that was not as good. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but let's try to play the most accurate moves here. Because if he goes here, we cover this pawn's covered. And in my mind, I thought, oh, well, he's double attacking the pawn. But his queen would just be hanging if he took the pawn with the pawn. So then I would just take his queen. And if he took with the queen, of course, the bishop would just take. Okay, so he doesn't go for that. Let's go ahead and... Do we want to take first and then get our knight out? Or just do knight first and then take? Let's do knight first. Put some pressure here. I mean, it's already triple defended, but... We'll just start trying to slowly build up the pressure on d4. And, okay, now let's take, since I want to develop this knight to e7, and then to, what's this, f5? But I don't want to block in the bishop's ability to take back here. So I think we take, then develop the knight. Yeah. And then we'll get both knights pressuring it. He has two defenders, but then his queen is kind of tied down to the pawn, which is good. And this pawn is quite weak now. It has no pawns to support it. So this is, I think, basically exactly what the idea that you want to go for in the advanced Kara. Just break this chain off and then load up pressure on d4. Let's go ahead and hop right here. And then, okay, so he's defending with the bishop. I could just take the bishop, which is tempting to do. The bishop is kind of weak here, though. It's not doing very much. It's just supporting the pawn, so it's not very active. Do I want to just take it? I can also immediately pressure this as well as this. It's still not enough to win the pawn, but if I go here, take, then here, it's only two attackers. So it's not enough to win the pawn like that either. So I don't think I'm going to win it, but we can definitely put some pressure. What's he going to do to respond to this? He could push it. Let's just play this first. I kind of like building up the pressure to start with, and then we can decide if we want to snag the bishop or something. So we got 1, 2, 3 attackers, and he has 3 defenders, but 2 of his pieces are not very well placed here, I think, particularly the bishop, and they're just purely serving this defensive role. Okay, he does go ahead and push that pawn. There's no tactic here with trying to win the rook, like pinning the pawn, taking it with the knight. I don't think that works because I can't go here. We'll just get the queen trade. Actually, let's see, because I do have the bishop here. So what would happen if I went bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, tempo on the queen. I don't think that quite gets me anything because I'm not quite, I don't have like a fork lined up after that or anything. So let's probably just develop our bishop. Either that or we go ahead and take his bishop. I think I kind of like just taking his bishop. Actually, no, let's develop ours first, because then we also could maybe bring it over there. Let's just develop. Knight comes in. So yeah, we're not going to be winning the pawn, but I like our position. We have really good piece activity and stuff, and I think I'll go ahead and castle. Is his knight threatening to really do anything? I guess he can come in here. I might just play this to prevent the knight from ever coming in there, because his queen supports it, and then if I move, maybe he jumps in with a fork at some point. So I think I like just blocking that square off. Okay, just going to threaten the queen. Is there a tactic here? I don't know if there is, but I almost feel like there could be. If I go here, take, knight moves. Knight could go here. That threatens the rook, so that kind of, I lose the tempo that I get from threatening the knight. Here. Knight goes here, rook goes here, and then I still have two attackers. He still has two defenders, so I don't think I can quite like win the pawn from that or anything. So I could drop back here and maintain the pressure. Or I could go back to here. Then a rook can pin my knight to the queen, so I think I want to go back probably to here for now. Okay, let's just do that for now. And then let's castle and get our rooks. Definitely want to get a rook on the c file. Maybe even just try to load both rooks up on the c file. Okay, he's coming into there, but if I kick him here, where is he going to go? He doesn't have this square. Doesn't have this square. I think he has to go back, right? Sometimes I miss like one square that's kind of important. Also, do I have anything over here, like remove a defender and then take? I don't think I quite do. But it feels like there's potential for something there that could build up. But I think I'll just kick him here. These squares are both covered. So yeah, I think I can just kick him. And this pawn is twice attacked, but is twice defended. Okay, so he does go back. And then if I push this pawn again, he'll just jump right back there, and then I won't be able to get rid of him. So I think I want to keep that pawn there. And let's go ahead and just, probably just castle. Yeah, I think let's just castle. And he does have another defender now in this pawn. So this one is very well defended at the moment. And I probably will snag his bishop here. take here. Takes back with the queen. If I take the bishop, takes back with the pawn. Opens up his rook. But then his pawns are a little bit worse because they're doubled. Is there a threat from him taking back with the queen here? Oh yeah, I mean the knight will be undefended actually, so I'll have to probably address that first. Probably just with the rook. Okay, let's just take, I think. And then probably go rook here. Or I move the knight. Actually, if I go here, I'm threatening his rook, so he kind of needs to take back. Take, and then I still only have, I don't quite have the two attackers. If this pawn weren't blocking the queen, I would. Then maybe I'd be able to win the d4 pawn. Oh, never mind, I forgot about this knight. He does have that defending it. So, yeah, I think here, no. Let's just do the rook. Oh yeah, I actually just noticed that I do now have two attackers on this pawn. The only thing is it's a little risky to take with the bishop like that, and then it will be pinned to my queen. So unless I have a good way to defend it afterwards, then I don't know if I do want to take that. I feel like I could lose the bishop for sure. Okay, he's pressuring the knight. Probably just move here. I want to go here as much because then it does give him the pin on the knight, so it gives me less flexibility to move afterwards. So yeah, I think this seems nice. This seems a little bit worse because then the knight still is pinned. If I move it, the queen takes. So let's go here. We're still preventing his knight from coming in with our pawn here. And I'd like to play some attacking moves. I think I will go ahead and take his bishop. If he pushes this pawn, is this a major threat? I mean, I can't take as the pawn's pin. If I double here first, then I can take. So maybe I'll go for that actually. Maybe just play rook c7. I could also drop the knight back, threaten the queen, try to get a rook trade. The knight's more passive there. I'm not a big fan of that, but it might help alleviate pressure. Let's see. Queen can't come into here at all. Can't come anywhere into here. So he's going to have to go back. This is going to be open. In fact, is the queen trapped? Wait, if I drop this back here, this is covered. No, he's not trapped because he has this diagonal. Never mind. He's almost trapped, but I think this diagonal makes him perfectly fine. I don't think there's any way to fully trap him because I don't have a way to cover these squares. So it's either I go up with the rook and prepare to take and try to get the queen trade there. Actually, no, because once I take, queen takes, rook takes, then the knight does hang. So I think I should just drop knight back. I'm trying to get better at playing quicker. I'm definitely playing slow right now, but maybe I should try to speed up my moves a little bit. And I'm probably down to trade the rooks. Once I trade the rook, he comes here. I could try to activate the bishop more, threatening the rook a bit, but it's kind of a sketchy square to be on. If the knight moves, the queen threatens it. I think I will just trade though. Actually, do I want to take this first? I think let's just take that. Let's just get rid of his bishop. And then let's just trade some stuff. And then this pawn will be a little bit loose. Maybe I could pressure it. Takes back with the knight, so I guess he's worried about covering this pawn. Or maybe worried about the bishop doing something here. He still has this pawn covered. I can always hop back to here to try to pressure again. I could also go here. If it takes, jump the knight in here. I like that square maybe a little bit better. Let's just bring the rook out first though. Just reclaim the open file. And then maybe we should start looking to like go here and open up the bishop on this diagonal. That seems like it could be worth going for. If we get that, then we'll immediately have more pressure on the pawn. We could jump the knight back in and might have a way to get a lot of pressure back on d4. I can also immediately go here. Okay, no. Well, actually, no, it still does. No, it doesn't. I was going to say I can immediately go here and threaten the back rank. Oh, no, the queen's looking too, so actually, it's definitely not a back rank mate. He has 3 pieces covering that. I think I will probably hop the knight back. Get it back to a good square. We still have the pawn covering his knight from coming in. Add more pressure to d4, and the knight can maybe hop into here or something if I wanted to. The bishop does cover it. Or I can move the bishop up there, which seems pretty good actually. But I'm thinking of trying to put the pressure on this pawn, on e5. And then try to force it to kind of take here. If I put some pressure on it, threaten to win the pawn. Because if I move here, it'll be triple attacked. If I push f6. So then he'll kind of be forced to take, and then I'll get my bishop to a really active diagonal, lined up with the pawn and the rook in the corner. So I think I like that plan probably best. Probably better than bishop out this way. Because bishop here is kind of nice, but bishop here actually is pressuring multiple things immediately. What should I play here? Go here, but then he pushes. If I take, knight or the rook can come in. If the rook comes in, I'll probably just go for a trade. If the knight comes in, I can immediately pin it to the rook, which actually seems kind of nice. So I think I'm okay with actually just trying to trade that. If the knight immediately comes to here, I'll probably just trade it for the bishop. Okay, let's take. Actually, yeah, the rook can't come in really because I would just take it for the knight. But if the knight comes in, I think I'll immediately go for this pin, and then I'm double attacking the knight. Oh wait, actually no, I would need to move first, move the queen. So maybe I'll go for the pin with the queen. Or I could just trade the knight immediately. Try to trade everything off. If he does take with the knight, either take, maybe just try to trade. Oh, he's not taking at all. But he's just going to let me keep the pawn. I mean, he does have two attackers on it. Well, I think I'm going to immediately go here then. Because then I support the pawn and I do put my bishop on a fairly active square. They support each other. And this is a passed pawn, so either that or the rook. But I like the rook being on this file. Or the queen, potentially. Is there any tactic to win the knight? Because if I could divert the queen, then I can take the knight. How can I divert the queen? I don't know if I can. Also, if I go here, I'm threatening this fork. I mean, he would definitely see that. Yeah, maybe I will go here with the knight, actually. But then it doesn't cover the pawn, so actually I would have to cover the pawn with something else. Alright, let's just cover with the bishop. And if he does hop to this outpost, take, this will be loose. Alright, let's just go there. We'll figure out what to do if he goes to the outpost. But I do like having this, a pass pawn supported by the bishop. Like going into an endgame, that just seems like a really nice thing to have already. So even if he takes the outpost, I don't know if I actually do want to trade that right away. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just try to pressure it and threaten to win a pawn there, if I can, and get him to hop away or something. Okay, now the bishop moved, he is able to hop his knight into here. I think if I kick him this way, where does he go? Can't take here, he can't go here. I think he just has to go back, right? It doesn't seem like you get to go anywhere. Also, I have this, which could win his pawn. Because I already have one attacker. Oh, he has two defenders. If I get the queen up first. But let's just kick the knight to start. I mean, I guess he'll just go right back and continue defending that, so. But I'm definitely interested in this idea now. If he, oh wait, I mean, I don't have it yet, actually. I would have to move the knight first to have this covered. Alright, he goes right back, so he kind of wasted a move there. Let's try to pressure d4 more. So I'm thinking like this. Or here. Here I pressure d4, here I threaten to maybe hop into there. But then he can bring the rook over. So I think just pressuring d4 is the way to go. And we need to maintain two defenders on this pawn as well. Okay, I might want to reroute this knight. I have two defenders on the pawn. If I reroute this knight, I can maybe get it here and then try to get it to this outpost. But I don't have a pawn to support that yet. I would need to push a pawn first, so maybe I push this first. Just have to be careful about the queen infiltrating. His knight can't come in, so the queen would be on its own. I think I could do this. If he goes here, though, then actually that could be a problem. So maybe I don't want to do it. Maybe I should just play this pawn break. Or do I want to push this pawn? Okay, actually, my time is getting low. I'm not doing a very good job of playing well on time. Let's just move the knight right away to simply just to open the rook up and maybe bring the rook in here. Just play that simply. We still have our two defenders here. And maybe... should I bring the rook here? Pressure that, and then I could maybe hop the knight back again. I have to be aware of this attack he's going for here. If I push this, I only have one defender. If he pushes this, take, his knight maybe can jump back in again. Okay, let's go with this first, actually, because you know what? This immediately is just a fork on a bunch of stuff, isn't it? So I think this is a little bit more useful than what he's going for. So yeah, I do think dropping the knight back to open the rook up was a good idea. And then I have the option of bringing the knight right back to where it was. Okay, so we're going to take this. He's trying to ramp up his attack over here. But I think I have plenty of time to probably deal with that. Let's just take... and what do we want to do here? Do we want to... if he takes, I take. This is exposed. But I can hop the knight into block, which actually I like. And no, but then he can take it out. So I think I go here, have him take. I can also immediately jump here, but still I don't really want the king fully exposed. Defending is a big weakness of mine. I think I'm interested in just going for this. Take. We open it up. I can move the king over. Just immediately pressure his pawn more. And kind of block his king off a little bit. If take. No, he'll just jump the knight in. I don't really want the knight jumping in. So yeah, let's just go here. Opening up this pawn is not the end of the world, I think, since he only has the king and the knight, which can't really come in yet. I could also push. Oh wait, no, I can just capture back with the knight actually and not mess up my pawns. Then he can hop his knight in. And then he's threatening that. I probably just dropped the queen back for that though. I think it's okay. Now let's probably just take with the pawn. I think it's okay. I can run away if needed. Actually, no. I feel like knight's safer. Alright, let's do knight. Knight's safer, I think. And then I'll play defensive with the queen to cover this square if I need to. We have a nice advantage, but we're low on time as usual, so let's Try to find good safe moves and try to get some trades here. But yeah, I think if he brings the knight in here, I'm just gonna drop my queen back to protect her. Maybe drop back to here, but then the rook can threaten. No, because I could just... No, it is covered by the queen, so yeah, he can threaten if he does that. I could just block and then go for a trade. Okay, rook comes out immediately. Let's try to go for the trade right away. Another thing I could do, which I'm actually interested in doing, depending on what we get here, because if he trades, it's a little bit more out of the question, but I'm just realizing if I drop my bishop back, I could probably just trade the knight if he does hop in, which is the only real threat here, I think. But yeah, if he does just trade here, which he does, then I can't drop it back. But we're still double attacking this. And I think we have ways of addressing. Okay, he's coming down with the queen first. That's not what I was expecting exactly. Let's just take. I mean, he's pinning this pawn, but it's not going to do anything for now. Okay, let's just take. Now I also have check. But he'll just move, he's not blocked in or anything, but I'm double attacking this pawn now as well, so I think he probably should just trade this. And if he does trade it, all he has is the queen here, and then he doesn't really have a solid attack. And I have a nice pass pawn. Okay, if I go up, I think we're good. Oh, he is able to take the pawn actually. But then I could take his. Or this one. And he doesn't have a check now. I don't think. Okay, let's simply take this one first. Now the move should be fairly quick. I can hop here, pressure this pawn, maybe even just try to threaten immediate checkmate over here or something. But yeah, he had this attacking idea with the king and with the queen and the knight, but we were kind of able to force a lot of trades off, and then it totally fizzled out. So now we're looking pretty solid here. I don't want to get checked at all, so let's try to avoid checks. Should I go here? Yeah, let's go here and immediately pressure that pawn, or just go here. Okay, let's just go here for now because it's covered. I just don't want to get in a perpetual check. It's the only thing to watch out for. If I can force a queen trade, that'll be perfect. So forcing a queen trade is not possible. This square would be perfect for forcing a queen trade, but this pawn is covering it, and I don't have any of my pieces covering it. But if we could get something to cover that square, maybe just the king. Come here, force a queen trade, but I think he would have moved the queen by then. Okay, let's just try to trade here. And if he doesn't move the queen, then we can just take it right away. Our pawns are covered. He has this check, but I would just block, I think. Or even block with the knight, because then I would still be threatening to force the queen trade. If I block with this, well, yeah, I guess he kind of just needs to trade anyway. I don't want him to take this pawn, really, though. So let's block with the knight, so that we keep this pawn covered. And now we're threatening to get the queen trade here. But he's probably going to move it. Queens at the end, though, can be annoying because it takes a while to actually get rid of them. There's so many checks they can give and stuff, and they can move to so many squares. It can be hard to trade them off when the opponent is trying to resist it. Okay, he avoids that. I'll probably just go here then to kick him. Everything is covered here. And maybe I'll just start trying to push in a second. Okay, yeah, let's get the knight back here and just start trying to push. Because he can't come back for this check. I mean, threatening the knight there, but I can just take with this. Is there anything else? Can I force a queen trade at all? I don't think so, so let's just take here. Yeah, I mean, I think he was just trying to, he thought I wanted to take with the knight, which I was going to at first, but, so he pinned it to the queen. Maybe he thought I would just blunder that. Because that's the only thing you can really hope for is a big blunder here by me. And let's simply just maybe push this first. Just gotta watch out for checks and stuff. This is supported. Supported by the knight as well. Let's drop back and just cover that, and if he checks, I'll just come over here and we'll just try to push here. I can also block with the knight, but I think I'll just move here because then he shouldn't have any checks after that. Because this whole file, these checks are covered by the king. And I'd rather keep the knight active where it can participate in pushing the pawn. But yeah, playing against a queen at the end like this just can really be a little bit tricky and a little bit annoying because it takes so long. Maybe there are like tricks to quickly, find a way to like immediately get rid of it, trade it off or something, but I think unless he kind of leaves me a place where I can fork the king and the queen together and have my queen covered, unless he gives me that, it will be hard to trade it off. Or if I just promote and force him to sack it. But he is going to have the king over here also able to cover the promotion square, so I'll have to probably walk the knight over somehow, or just push a different pawn. The only thing that's a little annoying with pushing the other pawns is that this pawn does block both of them. It does prevent both of them, but I guess I could just push one and maybe sack it and then push the other. Okay, let's go like this probably. And just keep walking both together. Knight's still protected. And I can push this again. I mean, he could take this one, but then I'm so close to promotion. Now let's just support that one first. Let's just go here, because then I'm doing both at once. Might go king up into here, because then his only checking square is covered. And it's like tucked away in this little shell. Okay, probably go here now, and then get ready to play that. Actually, I can play that right. No, I can't play right now. If one of these squares was covered, I could almost get the queen trade right away, but... Also, maybe I should just start checking. Actually, I probably should. Let's get his king out. Check, I can always come straight back if I need. But checking him might actually create an opportunity to force a queen trade. Oh, interesting. Well, I kind of like that because now I finally get access to these. So let's go here, and then I'm threatening to take the pawn. Let's go there with check. But yeah, I blocked the defense off, so I'm threatening to take it, and now we should be able to put a little bit more pressure and have some checks and stuff available. If he came here, I would be able to force the queen trade. So he needs to go onto a different square. Okay, he did. And let's figure out what else we can do. Probably push this pawn. Still have to be careful about checks though. Maybe I'll push this one first. Also, maybe I should just start checking him. Let's just give a check first and try to force him around a bit. And I can get time back as well with checks. Give another check. Have this as well. And go here and threaten the pawn. Let's just give another check first. Let's just... I don't want to get a draw though, that's the only thing. Don't want to give the same checks. But actually, there are... I have the knight covering this square. So there's almost like a mate there, depending on where he moves. If he goes here... Oh, actually, if he goes here, yeah, we get the force trade. If he goes here, that's not quite a mate. Because he can come down to here. Oh, we get the force trade now. That's all we were looking for, it just took a while. Yeah, let's activate our king. And let's move right here to let the pawn come in. I just have to be careful of a stalemate. And then we come up, actually. Okay, there we go. He really dragged it out, but we had a nice winning in-game here, and we played it correctly, I think. It just took a little while. Let's check the game review. And we're back to 1196. Curious if I had really high accuracy that game. I felt like I was playing mostly all the right moves. I don't think I had any big blunders or anything like that, unless he totally missed it, and so did I. But let's see. Okay, 81.2, pretty good, but it could have been better. I had a miss. The miss was probably at the end, I'm guessing, when I didn't know what to do. Yeah, it looks like it's on the end, in the eval bar. Had a miss. I did have 2 mistakes. He had 4 mistakes and a couple inaccuracies. 1700 game rating. He had 1450. And let's go ahead and go through everything here. I don't remember what his mistakes were actually that led to me winning material. What even happened? Somehow I ended up with a bunch of extra material, but actually I don't remember what happened there. Oh, it was because of the fork here. Yeah, I won the knight because he had the knight, the queen. He had 2 knights and the queen all on the same rank, and I was able to just slide the rook up there and get everything. So that was the major mistake he made. That's what led to me winning. Okay, this was a mistake. It did want me to go ahead and take the bishop, and this actually led to him having a nice advantage by me playing this. But let me see why, though. Wait. Oh, he sacks the knight. Nice. Okay. I didn't see that. Take. Yeah. So he wins a pawn there and opens up this whole section. That was his miss because he missed that tactic. He wanted the queen up and just go for the trade right away. I guess he kind of needs to go for the trade or to draw back with the queen to cover the knight. But then his position is under a lot of constraint there if he does that. So I guess I could have almost forced the trade there, but I didn't really want to double my pawns. Because I've had a couple times lately just with double pawns where I did get messed up in the in-game. I think if you're really good at in-games, it doesn't matter as much. But if you're not as good, if you're a little bit more of a beginner to them, it did mess me up a couple times. That was a mistake of him pushing. Yeah, I thought about that for a second. It seemed kind of threatening for a moment, but then I realized taking just kind of seems good. That was bad. It wants me to go for the queen trade again here. Threatening the knight. Well, I mean, knight's still protected, but yeah, I guess it really wanted me to force the queen trade. I guess it really likes my position and thinks that the queen trade will help me convert it to the endgame. But I still have a winning advantage very slightly after moving the rook over instead of going for the queen trade. Wanted the knight out first. Yeah, the fact that the knight covered the rook for so long did feel like it was restricting me a little bit. And then once I did move it, it helped. Yeah, that was best to take the bishop. We take these trades. It did want me to get the rook all the way over here, which I didn't really want to do. I wanted the open file, trying to just be principled and all that, but I guess pressuring this pawn is worth it. And the pawn also does get pinned to the rook since it's not protected. What does it say, actually? If I go here. Okay, it doesn't say any, there's no specific tactic or anything immediately. And this was still excellent to go to the open file. It wasn't a mistake. I did want the bishop out here quickly. I did take a while to play that. And then that was another mistake he made pushing pawns. Because couldn't he have still taken back? Or am I mean, I guess, yeah, we just trade. It doesn't like it that much, though. And then I have, oh yeah, I have the immediate check here. He would have to, wait, how do you even block that? You can't block like this. Oh, you block like that. Yeah, you can block like this because the queen and the knight together. For a second, I thought that there was no way to block it. So yeah, some of those pawn pushes he made were definitely hurting his position clearly a lot. I thought this was really good to get the bishop and the pawn connected, but it doesn't like it that much. Kicking the knight was good. It did prefer to go one square forward here, which I wasn't sure which one to go to. Knight back was best. So yeah, this is what changed the position, was opening the rook back up when he had everything on this rank, and he didn't make the right moves to protect it all. Yeah. So what should he have played? Knight back. Yeah, but even if he plays knight back, then his pieces are just really inactive. So I think even if he didn't get forked there, he would have been falling into a worse position. And I was already up a pawn as well. Take with the knight. Wait, it wants me to take the knight first. Is there a crazy tactic here? Take the pawn. So I'm sacking the rook for a knight and a pawn, but there's nothing else after that. So I don't think I would have done that, because I don't know, rooks are really valuable. And then he has a rook and I just have a knight for it, and I don't even have another rook. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that, but obviously it is better. Alright, we got the trade there. That was nice. Took the pawn. Yeah, after this point, all he had was the queen, and I knew he had no chance as long as I didn't make a terrible blunder. It wanted me to start giving checks right away. I think I was too reluctant. I did hold off on giving checks for a long time. I spent a while like building up this area and moving around here. But it wanted me to just give checks quickly. Push his king out. Because once I did push his king out later, I was able to pretty quickly force the queen trade. But when I wasn't checking the king, I had no way to walk the king into a forced trade. I was just hoping he would set one up by accident. But in this case, when I start checking, I can get it by force. Or at least it makes it easier for him to mess up and do it. So once again, it wanted me to just put more pressure here. I wanted to just try to get the queen trade quickly. I mean, I didn't really expect him to take it, so that's why I was dropping back. But it likes the more aggressive moves here, which makes sense because I'm up a lot of material. I should play aggressive, but I always get a little worried about something getting too loose back here and then getting in trouble from the queen. But either way, we were still good here. We were fine. I just wanted to not blunder and not run out of time. Just play it safe. Okay, taking the pawn wasn't accurate. It still wants the checks right away because his king was pretty hidden for a while. I think getting those checks is all we needed. Okay, all these are best. These are all... Yeah, I had a bunch of best moves in a row there. We pushed the pawn, we got the check. That was a mistake for him to move up there. Mate in 21. Wow. Yeah, I didn't see the mate in 21 there. But either way, this led to our win very quickly. That was another mistake because this is where we got the queen trade. And I was looking at that before he played it. But I thought he would see it and play down here, and then I was going to go for... Oh wait, would I get it either way actually because of this? But then I lose the knight. And I'm still winning with the pawns, but I don't want to give up the knight just in case. So I don't think I would have done it. It wants me here, which is threatening mate here, right? Or no, because he still has that square, but I could then take the pawn and then just keep snagging everything. His last protection there. That was a miss? Oh, because I had a mate in one. Oh, that's... yeah, that's funny actually. I mean, I was waiting so long to get that queen trade that I didn't even look at any other move. Once I got the queen trade, I was already just ready to take it. And I didn't see there was literally just a mate in one there. Wow, the game could have ended much earlier than... Well, not much earlier, because he resigned like 3 moves later, but a little bit earlier. Okay, there we go. So that was a pretty good game. I don't think I made any major mistakes. I was playing safe. I tried to be better on my time, and I didn't do a great job of that, but by the time we got to the end and I was running low, I already had a much better position. So it didn't matter too much, but it's always risky letting it get low. If I didn't have a nice material advantage, I would have been in trouble with that time. So I do need to really keep getting better at that. I tried to notice it in the middle of the game But by the time I was noticing, it was already quite low. So I need to pay attention even from early on in the game to that. Not just wait until the late middle game or the end game. And yeah, it was a pretty good game. And we're up to 1196. That was day 61, and I'll see you guys on day 62. Thanks for watching.